So this one's a transit 4x4. This one has a freezer unit, refrigeration in the back. If you could see in the top up there, you see the cooler. And because this is a low temperature application, you don't use R12, you don't use R134, you don't use R1234YF. This one here you use R404. You have 407, 408. You had the old 500 series have been phased out, and so this one had a little damage on a hose. They just did a hose replacement. And because this is refrigeration, this one you better make sure that you draw the vacuum down below 100 microns to make sure there's no moisture in the system. Change the receiver dryer. And I'm only getting right now, it's only been about a half hour, but I'm down to 230 microns. So this will stay here. I'll go on lunch or something for the next hour or two and just leave this on the vacuum pump until I get that well below 100 microns. And then I'll charge it up. So all the walls are insulated with thick foam insulation. Here's the rear coil. Your fans pull up, push through. Heat exchanger. And because this goes into freezing temperatures, that's why the fins are so big. You only have a few fins because ice starts growing in between them. And if you had fine fins, like in automotive for medium temperature, you know, only goes down to 50, 40 degrees, something like that, you never get ice on those. So you could have fine fins and air flows through. If you had the same fine fins and you take the temperature of this coil down to minus 10 degrees, a thin film of ice would rapidly start building up on both sides of the fin, and it would close the gap, and you would get no air cool, so you'd get no cooling. You'd basically just make a block of ice. So that is the reason guys in automotive don't understand. You can't just use any coil for a different gas at a different temperature. If you took an automotive coil and you tried to make it blow out at 0 degrees or minus 10 degrees for any period of time, it would do it for a few minutes, but then it would rapidly grow ice on it and turn into a block. So that's how that works. And here's the unit on top. And you can see where right there, where all that gobbledygook is for the silicone, that's where they're sealing, where the hoses, 2 hoses for the condenser, that's where the condenser's at. And you got fans, air intake, air exhaust. And that's finish off that Camaro inside and then come back to this one. 2 oddballs. 1200 horsepower Camaro and a freezer unit.